Hey guys, this is Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. Today I'm going to talk to you about my lawn care setup for this year and talk to you specifically about what I'm using for weed control and fertilization. So I want to show you the trucks, the sprayers, my backpack sprayer, my Rhydon Spreader, and my push spreader, and talk about the equipment that I'm using for this year. Stay tuned. So when it comes to equipment, you know, my philosophy's changed over time, but you know, I've sort of went the route now where if I can afford it, I want to get the best equipment I can because I'm so dependent on it. And that's why I'm trying to upgrade, get newer equipment. The spray tanks I use are excellent. The Rhydon Spreader I've got is excellent. So, you know, because these are things that are making me money, and by the time you write off on the taxes, the purchase price, I feel like you might as well go ahead and get the best one you can. You know, let me say this, if you're just starting out, sometimes that doesn't make sense if you don't have the customers to justify it. But once your business is established, to me, go ahead and get the nicest equipment you can. So let's talk about my equipment. Let me start off with my green truck. This is a 2008 F-250, which is a little bit older than I wanted, but when I got it, it only had 16,000 miles. So it's been really reliable for me. I got it last year. Of course, I've got my trusty Lawn Care Life sticker on here. Can't have too many of those. You know, I've talked about in another video, I use Graham spray equipment tanks. So this tank is a little over 3 years old, has been super reliable for me. They've got a Honda engine, and I get mine with a bean pump on it. So you can see here the pump, but it has I use a split tank. So a 400 gallon tank is what this one is. You've got 300 gallons on one side, 100 gallons on the other side, and these valves here can switch from one side to the other. So what you can do is mix two different products in the tank. For instance, I might use the left side for St. Augustine and centipede grasses, the right side for Bermuda and zoysia grasses. Or let's say the left side I want to mix up in the fall for army worms or grubs or, you know, whatever, and the right side for the lawn care treatment. So you can do it different ways, and the left side I might sometimes put a blue dye in there to let me know when the hose is switched from one tank to another. So you see here I've got a backpack sprayer mounted on the side of this truck. This is a Jacktow 4-gallon sprayer that I've been real happy with. I've been using it this year. And I've got a rack here that it's hard to see, but from trailerracks.com. So those have both been good this year, and really enjoying using a backpack sprayer. I had been using a lot of 2-gallon handhelds, but I've kind of switched over and liking the backpack. Here's my new lawn care truck. I bought this the end of this past year, and so it only has a few thousand miles on it. If you followed me on YouTube, maybe you know I bought a used truck and had some problems with it, had to put a rebuilt engine in it, and then I sold it and I decided to go brand new route. So with the brand new truck comes the brand new Graham spray equipment unit. This one is a 300-gallon unit, so it's more like 200 gallons on one side, 100 gallons on the other side. But I've been, you know, what I did, because it holds less volume, I just decreased the amount of volume that I'm spraying out of the gun. So for instance, on the other truck, I'm spraying about 1.6 gallons per 1,000 square feet based on my walking speed and how I've got it set. This one I'm spraying about 1.3 gallons per 1,000 square feet. So what that does, you know, I have to mix the chemicals a little bit differently, but it allows me to go a little bit further without having to refill since the tank is slightly smaller. Here's my Rhydon Spreader rack. This is made by B&B Technologies. They're one of the few companies that I know out there, maybe the only one, that makes these. But it's been good as far as transporting my Rhydon Spreader. And you come over here and look at the Rhydon Spreader. I've got a Ground Logic. This one has the 120-pound hopper on it. They make one, I believe, has a 220-pound hopper. So I went with the smaller version. But I've been very happy with this machine. I've only got about, let's see how many hours on it. 29 hours. So, you know, hadn't used it a whole lot because I just got it this past fall. but you know, it's been a great machine so far. I use it mostly for granular, but I also, you know, have the ability to spray from it. I'm doing that using the liquid part, usually only one application a year, but I've been very happy with this machine. And of course, it helps to have a push spreader just in case, you know, now I've got two people working and not just one. One can use a push spreader on the smaller properties, use the Rhydon for the larger properties. So this is my Speicher push spreader, which has been good for me. It's what I started out with, and I've been very happy with the Speicher brand. And I like that the Ground Logic has a Speicher hopper on it as well. So to me, the Speicher hoppers throw a great pattern. They're easy to set to the rate that you want, and I've just been very pleased with them. So there it is, there's my setup for this year. Let me hear from you guys. What do you think about this setup? What are you guys using, the ones that are doing weed control fertilization? Or maybe it's something you're looking to get into and you've got questions. Let me hear from you in the comments section. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel and I'll continue to provide helpful videos for you. Check out these suggested videos. Thanks a lot.